Welcome to the Outdoor Sports Club. This is Ghillie Sniper 300 and I've finally gotten my shotgun all the way apart. I had a lot of trouble getting that mag tube out, the original mag tube out, and Brownell's finally got the 8-shot mag tube and the 20-inch barrel back in stock and shipped it to me. So I haven't taken this out yet. We're going to take that out here in a minute. Those are finally shipped. I actually, here's the original mag tube. It's old, kind of rusted up a little bit, all that good stuff. The set that Brownell's sends, or sells, has a, it all comes together. It's a set of their spring, mag tube, and the 20-inch barrel. You can buy them separately. This one was on back order for quite some time. First things first, we are going to put this mag tube together, and I apologize if I get off screen at all. It happens from time to time, but I'll try to get the intricate details more or less on screen. Also, keep in mind that putting these components back in can be a little bit tricky. I've done it a few times, but it's still tricky every time I do it. Okay, so we're going to slide this longer spring down in the mag tube. And then this is the original plug or follower. We're going to slide that down in there, scrunch it up the best we can. I know that this is off screen, but alright, and then it's a matter of simply threading it into that. You want to make sure that that follower will push down in there. I don't know why it's not wanting to, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to push it down in there and hold it a little ways while I thread this in. I don't know the proper way to do it, but that's what I'm going to do. It seems like it's working pretty well. That follower was wanting to snap up into something up in here, and then it didn't want to thread, and the follower didn't want to push down in there. So that seems to be legit. Next, we're going to use this. It's been so long I forgot what all the parts are called, but anyway, it's like a lifter interrupter thing, and it goes in like that, in case you don't remember the way it came out. And it's pretty obvious it snaps into these two holes here at the back of the receiver. These two pegs snap into those two holes. Squeeze this guy together, pop it into the holes. Obviously the extractors need to be forward. This is the top, so it's going to go down. It's the part that interacts with the bolt. This also interacts with those pieces, or with that bolt carrier thing. So you've got to slide it on, and they're a little springy, so you just spring them out and up until they fit in the slots, like so. I want to pull this back out. Like I said, I've done this several times, but I forget stuff every time. You have to snap them down. That darn thing didn't want to stay. You might not put that in until you're done with this part, I guess. But we'll see how this works. So you have to push these up towards the top of the receiver to get them into the proper slots. It's probably not very visible there, but to get them into the proper slots, you have to push them down. Now this is the part. I knew there was something I was missing. There's notches there that interact with these tabs right there. So you have to try to get the bolt and the slide action assembly lined up just right with this, so that this will fall down, so that the tabs will fall down in where they're supposed to go. Ooh, I almost got it. And then, there we go. You just kind of work it, get it in its place, and then you have to work the whole thing forward. Boom. Alright. Now, we have another tricky part. These guys here are the interrupter mechanisms to make sure that the shells only come out one at a time. Make sure you get them on the right side. It should be fairly apparent because this little tab goes on the outside against the receiver wall, and these hooks should come in behind your tube so that they can work back and forth. The problem is they don't like to stay, so you got to keep this lined up and down. That tab will go on the bottom as well. This one doesn't have a knob on the side, but you should still be able to figure out which way it goes. Get that guy in there. There we go. Now, last time had a little bit of an issue with this guy getting down in there. You have to hook it in the front and then push it down and pop your pin in. And this little interrupter or whatever it is over here can sometimes get in the way. If it doesn't go in very easy, like it's wanting to go in real hard there, check those and make sure they're up against the sides of the receiver all the way. There we go. It went in really easily. Pop your pin in. Ta-da! Let's work the action. Works pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and put the stock back on. Normally, if you have a stock, butt stock, if you have the factory butt stock, you won't have to take the you won't have to take it off to get this all apart. This comes in below the trigger group a little bit, fire control group, and so I have to take it off. And again, this part's probably going to be off screen entirely. Okay, if you do have an aftermarket stock, you want to make sure you get it tightened down pretty good. I just take a little wrench and hook it on the end of there. Torque it a little bit. Get it tightened down pretty good so there's not a gap there. It might look like there's a gap there because of the paint coming off. Okay, next thing, knock stuff off your desk. That's the required next step. We're going to put this Hogue overmolded grip on there. 4-end nut. Okay, there we go. Once you get it started, it's no big deal. For whatever reason, this one doesn't like to get started. Get that baby tightened down in there. Pretty good. Helps to have a 4-end wrench. But I don't have a 4-end wrench. Okay. Okay, good deal, good deal. Now, this barrel is kind of dirty out of the bag, but we'll clean it up. The board's kind of dirty. Some of the dirt comes from my shed here. What I usually do is line the barrel up a little bit, just get it kind of right there in the receiver. Get the screw lined up with the end of the mag tube the best that I can. Then I'll release the pump slide, or the slide release, and pull that back, pull the pump back just a little bit so that it can accept the barrel in the receiver. And then make sure it goes back far enough to engage this screw. Screw it down tight. There you go. Seems to be working. Alright. Pretty cool. I don't believe I've ever shot a 20-inch. I've shot some 18-inch shotguns, but Now, I'm going to have to get something because of the height of this stock. I think I mentioned this in the last video. You can't really get right down on the bead on that. But this is already tapped. I can pull these screws out and put them out here and put an optic on it if I want. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want anything expensive, but man, that doesn't feel too bad. It's not a bird gun, but it's pretty cool, and I've always wanted an extended tube for my Mossy, but the way they make them, this is the only way to get the extended tube for the 500. Cool. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.